Morning everyone. I'm on a solo adventure for my own today. I've caught the train to Hathersage because it's a bank holiday weekend, so it seems a lot easier than driving, finding somewhere to park and leaving the car. And I'm going to be doing a solo overnighter 2-day adventure with a wild camp. And I'm here in Hathersage because I'm going to be doing the route of John Merrill's Dark Peak Challenge Walk. Now I did think I'd got the book for this, but obviously not, I can't find it anywhere. So I've sort of pieced together the route. It's probably not the exact route, but it follows the gist of it anyway. It's 23 miles, so I'll be doing it over today and tomorrow, and with a wild camp tonight, possibly Derwent Edge. I'll see how far I get. Weather's not looking too bad out there at the moment. It's a bit misty. Tomorrow's not looking great, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. This will actually be my first solo wild camp since I did the Gritstone Trail back in September 2022. Bit nerve-wracking, but I'm here. I'm at the start line, so all's good. Just had a steep climb from the church. Well, I went downhill from the church and had a steep uphill climb through the golf course onto this road. This route, it goes, I'm actually doing it the other way round than recommended, because it goes to the way I'm doing it is Win Hill and then down to the reservoir and up and over Derwent Edge and Stanage Edge and back to Hathersage. But like I say, I've chosen to do the other way around because I want to get the bulk of it done today and then camp up somewhere on Derwent Edge tonight. I met a lady actually who's been wild camping for a couple of nights, and yeah, I think she camped in some woods last night, so it's good to see other people getting out doing this kind of thing. So yes, it can be quite daunting actually, being a solo wild camper. I am actually feeling a bit nervous about tonight because, like I say, it's only the second time I've done it on my own, but I need to get brave, and this is the best way of doing it because this is good training for my side-to-side walk in June, where I'll be walking 30 days, 17 miles on average per day, from Lanshan to Ness Point in Lowestoft, 520 miles, so I will be wild camping on that one. So I've got to get more confident at doing it and better at carrying all my stuff. So carrying this heavy pack for 2 days will help. So I'm gradually making my way over to Bamford, and yeah, I'll see what happens when I get to Bamford. This is us. You can just see there the Great Ridge, and there's Win Hill, my next objective, or my next major objective anyway. Tell you what, I'm so over this though. I just really wish it would just start to dry out a bit now. This is a bit of a walkway here, just takes it up the mud a little bit, but I certainly won't be sorry when the countryside all starts drying out. Don't know if it's me, but it seems particularly bad this year, but then it really has been a wet winter. Just walking by Bamford now on the way to Win Hill. I suspect John Merrill probably would have preferred people to go along the stepping stones at Bamford to here, but I'm not doing that. Had enough of that on the Hope pilgrimage. Didn't manage to do it. I froze and ended up running away, so not my finest hour. So I think we'll just take the long way around for the sake of safety and dignity. Bamford Edge there. See all the cars parked along the road. Looks quite busy. Oh joys, more mud. How pleasant. Wen Hill to the right. Up, up, up. I'm climbing up Wen Hill now, gradually. Still got quite a way to go though. It's been really muddy. Just been a total mud fest on the way up here, which makes it so difficult. So I'm actually considering cutting the route down a bit. Instead of a long gradual descent down to the reservoir, then walking around Derwent Reservoir and going up by Lost Lad, I'm considering cutting down from Wen Hill and going to the bottom end of Ladyborough and going up into Derwent Edge that way. It does cut quite a few miles off, unfortunately, but given the slowness of me with the mud and the pack, I just think it might be a bit silly to try to push too many miles and risk pitching up in the dark and the rain, because the rain is supposed to be coming in later. So I'll see how I go anyway. I'll update you. It's probably going to get quite windy from here on, so I'm probably not going to be able to talk much. Oh, it's very steep, the final approach to Wen Hill, especially with this heavy pack on. I stopped somewhere out the winds. I found a little rock out the winds to have a quick sandwich. So now I'm going to drop down towards the reservoir and pick up Derwent Edge that way. It feels a bit nippy actually, my hands are quite nippy. It's quite breezy here, so I'm hoping I'm going to find somewhere to pitch that's not too windy. We'll see anyway. Come down to the reservoir now. There we are, that's Heatherdean over there and Bamford Edge behind. Looks like it's going to rain now. Oh, look at that. We've got the flood hole in full overflow. Wow. Okay, got a confession. Bit of a rookie error here. I've got one of those new nog bags and I filled it up with some water. But the trouble is, obviously the top wasn't quite threaded right. And I've been wondering why I felt a bit damp all day. I couldn't feel anything. I thought I'd maybe put the bag down in water, but I realised when I got down to the bridge that I was wringing. You know, some of the clothes were wringing. And so I got the bag off, realised that quite a lot of water come out of the knot bag, and I don't think many things have got wet. Here's the thing, I couldn't feel my sleeping bag had got really wet. Of course I might get it out and it's absolutely soaked, but I'll have to take that chance. So I've stopped a bit at the Heatherdean toilets and car park. The loos were shut, they're undergoing refurbishment, but I did manage to squeeze in and just top up my water from the boot washing tap. So I'm just taking a chance that it's drinking water. Might not be, but that's for tomorrow or the next day's problem. So I'm just heading up now onto Derwent Edge. It looks like the rain might be coming in, so I've probably got an hour or so to find somewhere to pitch. Here's hoping it's not going to be too windy. Wish me luck, because I am getting quite nervous now, I must admit. See Wen Hill there? Been there, done that. Hope this is a good idea. you know what, change of plan. I did go up to Derwent Edge. The weather was just getting worse and worse. It was blowing a gale up there. I just couldn't get out of the wind at all, and it was pouring and I was really cold. So I bailed on that. But look here, I know I'm not that far off the path, but this is quite a nice patch of grass. It's quite sheltered. I can't feel the wind so much down here. It stopped raining. I think I might just give this a go, and if I get moved on, I get moved on. There. It's not perfect. It is quite windy, so I'm just hoping it's going to hold. But it's pitched, and it's staying up at the moment. So fingers crossed. I'm getting cold now, so I'm going to get in and get warm. Don't know if you can see me. I'm in the tent. I've changed out of my wet gear. I mean, pretty much everything was wet. So I've got my thermals on. I'm sitting in my sleeping bag at the moment. It's still quite windy. I think I'm just going to have that all night. I'm just thinking about making a brew, getting some dinner on. But I don't want to move at the minute because it's quite nippy out there, really. I'm okay at the minute. I'm just tucked in my sleeping bag. I don't know how cold it'll be in the night. I've still got my Four Seasons, the big massive Winster Four Seasons sleeping bag. Thankfully it doesn't seem to have got wet from the spillage of the water. So yeah, I'm just chilling at the moment. Going to get a brew on when I can be bothered. It won't be long though, because I'm getting peckish. Got the kettle on for dinner. I really can't be bothered to cook, but I know I've got to eat something, and I do need a coffee. But it's so nice and warm and cosy in my sleeping bag. I'm trying to do everything as much as possible without having to leave it. Lazy. Still raining, I can hear it on the tent. Pitch dark now as well, so I really don't think anybody's going to come now. I mean, somebody did actually. While I was pitching the tent, somebody walked down the track, but he just ignored me. He had a pretty big pack himself, so perhaps he was a wild camper as well. We could have a problem. It looks as though I might be running out of gas. I thought there's more in this cylinder than there is. I'm just hoping I've got just enough for tonight and in the morning, because I do need my morning cuppa. That could be a complete disaster. Tonight I'm having a fire pot meal, chili non carne with rice. I do find that the fire pot meals are actually the nicest I've found. They really do taste like proper food, and they come in quite a lot of vegan options as well. I mean, I'm vegetarian rather than vegan, but of course a vegetarian can eat vegan, and I've had this one before. It's really tasty. My fire pot meal's ready now. Just had to seal it up and leave it for 15 minutes. Look at that. Looks delish. Had my food, had a latte, and I've just remembered I've got a beer. This beer's nice. Brewdog Elvis. Grapefruit and juice. It's certainly got a bit of a citrus kick to it. Yeah, I'm enjoying this one. There's something special about having a beer in a tent, listening to the rain. Still raining. I can still hear it on the tent. I think it is going to rain pretty much all night. Like I say, I so very nearly bailed. I think half the battle of doing these adventures is just getting to the start line, you know, just showing up to actually do them. Because, I mean, I could say I wimped out a bit. I did shorten the route because I thought it was a bit overly ambitious to get right round the reservoir and up to Lost Lad. So I did shorten it instead. I came down Offwin Hill, down to Ladybower, down to Heatherdean car park, and then the bridge, and then up on Derwent Edge. So I could say I didn't do the entire John Merrill route, and of course I haven't camped up on Derwent Edge. I've camped down below it. But saying that, I might have cut the route short. I might not have camped where I fully intended, but I have camped. I have shown up. I've done a good walk with my heavy pack, which is excellent training, and I am in my tent. I've managed to get myself pitched and I'm actually having a wild camp. So I suppose you could say that's a success, because it would have been so easy not to. I mean, I was actually walking out, to be honest. I was actually thinking, no, I'll go down to Bamford Station, get a later train back. But then something in me thought, no, I can do this. I've got this. I can actually pitch my tent and have a camp out. The weather's not that bad. It's raining, but it's not heavy rain. It's quite light rain. It's not that windy down here. It was quite fun pitching the tent because I've not really pitched when it's been that windy. But I'm here. I'm not cold. It's all good. The tent's held up. I'm fed. I'm watered. I've got a beer. So yeah, I've got this. I've done a decent walk with my pack. Been at Win Hill, which was certainly testing. Climbed up onto Derwent Edge, which was testing again. Sloshed through loads and loads of mud. And yeah, so I do consider this a success. As long as it lasts the night, of course. And because it's Easter Sunday, I've got to have some chocolate. It's Lindt chocolate, so it's pretty special. So I do feel I deserve this tonight. So I'm going to eat this. I'll do some final checks of my stuff, and then I'm going to settle down for the night, try to get some sleep. Hopefully the rain won't be too bad and the wind won't get any worse than it is now, because it's doable. I can cope with it. I put my earplugs in, I can cope with it, and all being well, I shall see you in the morning. Morning all. It's just gone 5:30 in the morning. I must say, I didn't sleep that well because of the rain constantly on the sides of the tent. It kept me awake and I lost an earplug straight away, which didn't help. So I don't feel I've had an awful lot of sleep. But the plus side is I've been really toasty and warm all night. Really, really warm and snug. So that's a big plus. I'm not starting cold. So I'm going to get a brew on now and gradually clear up, because although obviously I enjoyed the extra hour of daylight last night because the clocks changed the night before, the flip side of that is we do get the darker mornings for a bit. So I'll have a look what time sunup is, but I'll probably aim to leave here certainly by 7, perhaps earlier. Depends on when it gets light. It's going to be a wet start, so no doubt I'll be starting the day in full waterproofs. It's just going to be rubbish weather really, but it is what it is. And I suppose the easy camps are all very well, but I suppose it's these tougher ones with adverse weather conditions that build the character and the experience. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Lovely cuppa. Just enough gas in the canister to make that, luckily. Not much more in there. But I just could not function without my morning cuppa. Feels like it's getting light out there as well. Let's have a look. Yep. No views to speak of, which is what I expected, but it is starting to get light. Going to be a soggy one. I am not looking forward to putting those on. They are, in a word, gopping. That there is where I pitched last night. No trace has been left, apart from a bit of flattened grass. And that was the view from last night's pitch. Not much of a view, but there it is. See Bamford Edge looking all moody and misty. Right, time to go. Tell you what, it's typical bank holiday weather. I've got to go and Stanage Edge next. It's going to be lovely up there, but it is sort of the quickest way back to Haversage. So I suppose I might as well tough it out. And I'm so going to treat myself to a hot drink and maybe some cake or something nice in Haversage. Well, technically, the route goes that way, and it says it's a ford. But that river looks really, 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 really fast flowing, and I can't see any stepping stones or anything, so I think it's probably not going to happen. I think we'll find another way round. That must be Cutthroat Bridge. I did come up the road in the end, the A57, because although it's a fast busy road, there is a little path on the right hand side that does keep you off the road. A bit narrow in places, a bit overgrown, but it does the job. So now I've reached a junction of paths that takes me up onto Derwent Edge. It's going to be wet and wild up there, but I think that's the order of the day. And I'm afraid I'd love to be able to show you the lovely views, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to. It is what it is, I suppose. From a distance I thought someone had pitched there. It looked a bit like a tent. Hey, this bit's a bit dramatic. We're coming up onto the edge itself now. Look at all those rocks. Looks like an old wall there. No view though, sorry about that. I don't think the weather's got the memo that it's supposed to be spring now, April the 1st. Or is this just one giant April Fool? This path is shocking. Not making very fast progress along here at all. Don't know if you can hear me, but that trig there is high ebb. I believe it's the highest point on Derwent Edge, and it is an Ethel. And I can see signs of civilization down there, which is good, because shortly hopefully be dropping off this ridge. If I'd known how muddy it was, and slippery and slidey and wet, I might have found another way around, to be honest. But I'm up here now anyway, we've done it. This is High Nab on Derwent Edge. Trigged it. And I've got it all to myself on a bank holiday Monday. I think why. Just dropping down off Derwent Edge now. It's a little bit scrambly, that last part. I had to come down on my bum. But I'm on this good track now, and I'm going to pick up a road that goes down towards Hathersage, and I think there might be some more fields, and then I'll be there. So not too long, I don't think, just some steady walking. Seems to have taken ages to come across Derwent Edge, which is just so, yeah, quite hard going in a lot of places. But we're doing it now. Got back to New Ethel as well, High Neb. So just going to take it nice and steady. Hello, hello. Had a little bit of a change of plan. My route involved going through fields and down through woods to get back to Hathersage, but to be perfectly honest, I've just had enough of really slippery, slidey, muddy down hills. I have found the road and I'm going to walk it out to Hathersage by road. I don't think it's necessarily shorter, just easier underfoot, and I have got a train to catch, although I've still got plenty of time. It's amazing how much time was eaten up on Derwent Edge. It just seems to take me ages because it was just so rough up there, so boggy, so slippery. It's like peat troughs. It was well, I won't be going up there again till it's dried out a bit, I tell you, although it's worth doing. I'm glad I went. It's another climb in the back, but I am pretty tired, feeling a bit cheerless as well, so looking forward to getting down into Hathersage and having a nice cuppa somewhere. Hopefully it won't take me too long. Look at that trough. Looks ancient, doesn't it? Look the way it's just feeding into the trough from the field. But it really does look so it's been there some years. I think that's the thing to take away from these adventures. It's not necessarily a fail if you have to adapt and change things around a bit. At the end of the day, you know, you don't know what you're going to face. and if it just means that you perhaps get warmer a bit quicker, a bit safer, then so be it. I'm quite proud of myself for actually coming up here and doing this anyway, despite the weather, because I have had 2 good days walking, some climbs, and yeah, it's been worthwhile. And of course a camp. Now, like I say, I know I didn't actually camp on the edge, but it would have been so easy to bail, so easy. And I was actually googling train times and hotel prices. There was a hotel just quite nearby that looked very nice, but nope, I did put my tent up and actually had quite a comfortable night. So it just goes to show you shouldn't give up too easily, but also you shouldn't be frightened to change your plans either. So, I mean, although I did change things around a bit, I do consider this a success, because it would have been so easy not to have come at all, and that would have been a shame. It's all valuable experience and good training. Just using this handy bench to take the weight for a couple of minutes. I did have a little break up there when I came down off Derwent Edge. The path went to a car park and had a little perch, and I took on some fluids and ate a mini Snickers, well, little version of Snickers, so that gave me a bit of fuel. I've not been very good at stopping for a break today, but it was just so cold at Derwent Edge, couldn't really stop. But I'm okay, I'm feeling okay. I've just got a downhill plod along the road back to Haversage, so all's good. I just sit for a couple of minutes and enjoy the view. In fact, I'll share it with you. There it is, look. You can see Lewes Hill and the Great Ridge. And then over this way, possibly Haversage Moor. And a plethora of daffodils, so spring is here. I just wish that it would hurry up and dry out. There it is, Haversage. So nearly there. Not long to go at all now. Tell you what, I'm ready for a cuppa. Maybe something nice to eat as well. All I've got to do now is just have a gentle poddle down into the village. And so I'm going to leave this vlog here. Thanks a lot for coming along with me and watching my rather inept attempts at a 2-day walk and wild camp. It's been good to have you along, and stay tuned for the next little adventure.